The designer of this rooftop garden is having some difficulty with curve fitting, and in particular she wants some advice on how to insert vertices and how to join polylines and do curve fitting. I might for the moment just revert the background colour to black, because I think you can see more clearly that she has a polyline running through here that's in yellow, but there's a red polyline through there, and clearly they should be joined. If we select them, and this is what she has tried, and say join them, GCAD Plus says I can't join those objects. That's because curve fitting's already been applied. If you look over here in Fit Smooth, it's a quadratic B-spline. So let's move it back to lines and arcs, and let's do the same for this one and change its properties back to lines and arcs. Now let's see if when we select the two and pick join, they do join. We can, once they've been joined, we can then move them back to quadratic B-spline. Let's move our view to white so that you can see things a little more easily. So here's our, as I just roll out, see the polyline comes around through here. I'd be inclined to change that polyline a little and sort of move it up, or move the vertices up like so, and move these in. And can you see what I'm aiming for now is a more controlled line coming through. But can you see that where the curve, where the polyline bends quite severely, you may well need to add extra control points. And the way to do that, to add another vertex, is to move your mouse so it hovers over, in this case, vertex number 5, and say insert a vertex. In goes a new one, and you can position that vertex. You might want to add another one here, so that gives you better control over the shape. So if we zoom out a little now, I'm relatively happy with the polyline that runs through here and down. I've still got work to do over here, and I can bring that in maybe a little more and bring this one through to there. And now as I note, the polyline just makes a really tricky angle. These little acute angles are not helpful. So what I'm going to do is pick the near option, and I'll just move the polyline, the finish of the polyline, like so. Now I think I need another vertex in here to give me better control over that shape. So I'm relatively happy now that I've got, let me move across, I've got a relatively smooth curve running through here, so I've got something to play with. So I hope that helps in, let me have another vertex in here and move that one over there and this one down. You can see I'm just fine-tuning the curve now. So I hope that helps. You cannot join polylines that have had curve fitting applied. You simply move them back to lines and arcs, then you can join them. Once they've been joined, you can apply curve fitting, and to get better and better control over the shape of your polyline, just insert a vertex, and that will enable you to have much finer control over the ultimate shape. Well, here the design is a little more developed, but the intention here is to put some seating in this area, and again we run into a polyline problem. If we try and hatch that polyline, I select it, and under normal circumstances you should be able to draw and pick hatch, pick the polyline, set your scale so that you get a density of somewhere around 1, so we'll add another 0 there, and we'll go OK. And the polyline doesn't hatch. We don't actually get a warning, and perhaps we should give you a warning, but we don't get a warning, and one wonders why. Let's take another look at this polyline. It's actually not a closed polyline. It's open, so hatching won't work because essentially the hatching leaches out of the area. But we can say yes, I'm going to turn that into a closed polyline. So now it's closed. So let's now try the hatch again. And draw, hatch, pick the polyline. We'll try with that scale. We may have to adjust it, and we go OK, and in goes the hatching. So we can maybe make that 200. Still could come down quite a long way. Hatching is just an experimental thing. You just have to play with it till you get it right. And so we now can label that informal seating. So one quick way to do that is to copy and pop it in, and don't forget to alter the text in that leader. So informal seating, and we'll OK that. So I hope you can see that polylines can be complex. You just do need to look at, when you select a polyline, do look at the properties box on the left. That'll tell you some important information that may help you in developing the design a little further.